Hello, my name is Christian Caudillo, and today we'll be exploring how homelessness has changed throughout the years here in Los Angeles. Now, before I want to go ahead and get started with the visualizations, I want to reiterate that as I took a look at the data sets between the years 2020 and 2025 to get a 5 year difference, you will notice that in some of these visualizations, a lot of the information is a little bit different. um, I believe that throughout the time that this data set was acquired, the researchers were looking at different points and kind of categorizing it into a more generalized um, topics and concepts for when it comes to the homeless population. Um, so with that being said, some of the data sets may look a little bit different, but it's just the time frames um, that I assume that the researchers at the time had different concepts about how they wanted to approach um, counting the homeless population. So let's go ahead and get started with the first visualization. We'll be taking a look at the unsheltered versus sheltered populations in the homeless community. So as you can see here on the left, we have the unsheltered and sheltered populations between 2020, and on the right is for 2025. As you can take a look at the color patterns here, the blue is for sheltered and the orange is for unsheltered on both visualizations. Some of the subgroups here you can see here is individuals, those not in family units, adults age 25, all family members, which is just exclusive to the year 2025, family members under 18, family members 18 and up, family households, at least one child under 18, adult headed households, transitional age youth, family members 18 to 24, transitional age youth headed households, which is exclusive to 2025, and unaccompanied minors. As you can see in this graph, um, the first one, 2020, the x-axis mark is up to 50K individuals, which is very high in 2020. In 2025, it reaches in about 45,000 individuals. Um, or actually 50K, sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong number. 50K as well, and just a little bit more. Let's go on to the next visualization. We'll be taking a look at a pie chart of populations by group. So this is the same concept as the last one, and just the numbers here are referenced as percentages. As mentioned before, the subgroups here, for example, the population groups are the same. In reiteration to the beginning, the data sets obviously have different subgroups as well. So as you can see, the different colorways are based off the year, and this is the total population per group of the previous visualization. So, for example, all of these, I don't know, the cursor right here to my right is these are all the population groups. And since this graph or this visualization is only demonstrating the unsheltered versus sheltered populations, this next visualization is showing the population per group. So as you can see, the biggest ones here are individuals, those who are not in any family household. These are just individuals who are just alone, and just in hindsight homeless. And the second biggest population group is just adults over 25. There are some subcategories right in the very small little gaps that you won't be able to see here, right in the middle of this visualization and this one as well. They're very difficult to eye, but they are there. In most parts here, as you can see, they're at 0%. So let's go on to the next visualization, which is population by age. As mentioned before, the types of categorization between the different years are very visible here. In 2020, they only did subcategories between under 18, 18 and 24, and 25 and over. And 25 and over is just encompassing everybody in general. And in 2025, you can see that there are different categories for age. So you have under 18, 18 to 24, so forth and so forth, even up to 65 and over, which actually gives a little bit more of an accurate representation of the different types of people out there depending on their age. And I think this gives a little bit more insight to how many people out there there really are. I think 2020 didn't really give a good explanation. 25 and over is very broad. So, in that sense, I just think it wasn't really helpful to see. So, I believe that the population by age in 2025 is more accurate and can provide more information about the population itself. And then our final visualization here is a total homelessness population between 2020 and 2025. As you can see, there's a huge difference here. Um, it almost doubled, and it's on track to being tripled. So, as mentioned here, the disparities between the year 2020 and 2025, it illustrates that the homeless population continues to grow. It's a massive jump, and it's very sad to see. So, what does this mean? It means that as a society, we have to do better and assist these vulnerable populations in acquiring housing, food security, and landing them a job to get them back on their feet. I feel that it's pretty clear and visible that organizations are struggling to assist the homeless population. So why not create more programs in order to help them out? So I believe in doing so, we need to connect with state leaders and advocate for programs to assist with this crisis as it continues to grow. We need to make sure that it stops, and we need to be able to give these people their life back. And yeah. Thank you so much.